Everyone these days is comparing themselves to literally everyone they see on the internet. You go on the internet and you compare yourself to David Lade's physique. You go on the internet and you compare yourself to Iman Gaji's wealth. You go on the internet and compare yourself to Andrew Tate's status. Like, you're constantly comparing yourself to all of these dudes that you have never met in real life. You have, like, come on, bro. Stop comparing yourself. Do you know what this does to your mental health? I mean, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you understand what it does to your mental health because you probably feel terrible every time you go on the internet. Because you look at Andrew Tate and you're like, man, how do I not have that Bugatti yet? You go on the internet and you look at, you know, the genetics of Alex Eubank and David Lade, and you're like, man, how did I not get blessed with those genetics? And you constantly are like feeding yourself with this negative emotions because you're constantly comparing yourself to all these dudes. And eventually, of course, you're going to get depressed. All you're doing is weighing up how good their life seems to your life. And of course, your life isn't as good as you want it to be because you haven't taken any action to make it any better. All you're doing is sitting around watching self improvement YouTube videos. And yeah, that's productive. I'm glad you're thinking about self improvement and I'm glad you've found the space, but you can watch all the YouTube videos you want, bro. But if you don't actually take action in the real world, you're still the same dude. Just now you're watching a different genre of content. So I'm sure you've heard of the saying, comparison is a thief of joy. But there is some benefit to comparison. You need comparison in life because you need to be able to see what someone else has and want it. But instead of comparing yourself to all these people and getting the negative mental health side effects, compete with them. Comparison is when you look at what another guy has and feel depressed because you don't have it. Competing is when you look at what another guy has and says, I can do better than that. Or you look at what another guy is doing and say, I can do better than that. So I'll give you an example of how I've implemented this in my life. So there's two small self improvement channels that I compete with on YouTube, right? There's a plethora of small self improvement channels out there, but I have found two that I really connect with and feel kind of personal with. And one is Dante. I'll leave a link down in the description. His name's just Dante, small self improvement YouTube channel. And one is Mason Blazer down in the description. These guys, they're ahead of me. I think Dante's made like 250 something videos, and same thing with Mason. I say to myself, man, it took Dante 250 videos to get to how many subs he's at. I'm gonna do that in half of that. I look at Mason and I say the same thing. I love those dudes, bro, and I really do think they're going places. And that's why I really like watching them because I feel a lot of passion from them. And so their links will be down in the description. Absolutely love those dudes, but I'm competing with them. Like I'm not looking at Dante and saying, "Man, Dante, he's doing this, and oh man, he has way more subs than me." For one, of course he has more subs than me because he's been doing this longer than me. Mance has posted like 200 and something videos. I'm like on video. I think, and this comes out, I'll be around on like video 20 or something like that. Like, and I could look at Mason and say, "Man, that dude has a way better physique than me," or something like that. Like, so I'm competing with them. That's masculine, bro. Stop, being one of these wimps that go out there and just like compare yourself to all these like other dudes that have way more than them, but they don't even like comprehend and think to themselves for like 1 second and say, well, maybe they deserve what they have and I don't have because I haven't been going to the gym for 10 years. Did you ever think about that, bro? Did you ever think that, oh man, maybe, you know, Chris Williamson has so many subscribers and has such a good podcast. Man, why don't I have such a good podcast? Maybe you didn't look at how long it took him to make a good podcast. Who cares what everyone else has? It benefits you none to look at what other people have and like feel sorry for yourself about it. You have the power to control your thoughts. So why don't you control your thoughts to a point to where they benefit you? Like, I'm sure you've heard of like you have the power to control your thoughts. So why be sad when you could be happy? Like it's the same thing here. Like why compare yourself to other people? Give yourself the bad mental health when you could just compete with them. Like literally just change the phrase. I'm competing with him. Yeah, he might be ahead of me, but he's not going to be ahead of me for that long. And then you literally can skip all the bad mental health just by changing one word and like reprogramming your mind. Stop comparing yourself, bro. Like unleash the masculine desire to compete. Think back at like in the caveman times, bro. Do you think homeboy would look at your tribe, like some other tribe leader, right? Would look at your tribe, compare himself to your tribe, and start feeling depressed? Bro, man's probably had like a 2,000 nanograms per deciliter testosterone level. So man's went back to his tribe, grew his tribe, and literally was coming to conquer you at the first minute, bro. At the first moment that he felt strong enough. He was coming to wipe you out, bro. It's just today that we have stopped competing. Like we only compete like during sports, but literally, bro, life is a competition, especially like with us men, bro. We're all competing for the high status. We're all competing for, the top rank, the top G. Like, so just stop comparing, bro. I know I've compared my life before, and I still compare sometimes, and I gotta check myself. Just like check yourself. Like this video is not gonna make you stop comparing, but it's going to alert you to when you start comparing. So I just want you to start checking yourself. Check yourself, bro. Say, man, what am I doing? Like, stop comparing, start competing. Skip the bad mental health. You'll thank me later. My name is Charlie. I'm a homeschooled athlete and entrepreneur on self improvement. Much love to you, bro. Keep improving your life. Never stop.